Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is now an official Trevor in the moment. Full disclosure, I just had an idea. I don't have time to go research now because it's fresh. I'm just saying it. I just had the biggest epiphany today so far. I've had many epiphanies in my life. Okay, when you go look at these things that are like self-help guides and all of that, when people talk about the laws of attraction and they talk about, positive thinking, and then there was like some disappointment because people got all this immense, and I'll do it, and people took gigantic leaps of faith, and then there was a bit of disappointment in the world. I think there was a bit of disappointment in the world sometime after. I got to say that I believe in the law of attraction 100%. I have an understanding of how it works. I don't believe it's got anything to do with shaping anything around you or attracting things to you. I believe it's got to do with yourself. It's all with the self. Everything is always with the self, I believe. How do you keep that happy emotion? And this is the little epiphany. We are creatures of balance. There's no escaping that. Staying happy. You want to keep that happiness. You want to keep it all like huge and big. And so then what happens is sometimes a small thing happens and it's kind of like, it feels like it's attacking your happiness. Then you get upset. Then what you do is you bottle that. You still keep the big happiness, and a tiny little thing happens again and it bothers your happiness. Attack it, bottle it. Eventually it gets to the point where you're happy, and like that little thing happens and it's like, oh God, it just opens up the bottle, and then you got this giant conflict of emotions. All the happy that you wanted, and then all this, everything is just happening at the same time, and this just doesn't work anymore. I mean, what the hell am I doing? And someone lied to me. This doesn't work, this is rubbish. Disappointment. You want to stay happy, you want to be a happy person, you want to do the practices. You know what you got to do as well, I think. I'm going to put this into a bit of practice. I want to keep happiness on a big scale, so I have to balance my scale. All the negatives, deal with it in small portions. So how do you weigh that? How do you know what is the correct amount of small portions that can compensate for the weight of your big happiness? Big happiness, I want big happiness. I want to keep those feelings of always being happy and positive, Yes. So, think of all the things that kind of piss your day off. See that as a small proportion. How to deal with that small proportion in the moment. And that's kind of, I think, now training yourself to, right, if that happens, right, this is how I want to react to it. Because this happiness here has to stay balanced. Okay, this is a bit of 100% of a year. This 100% has to stay as 100% as possible. All these little negatives that are going to happen that might just, conflict with that. Those are the little things, that are little situations, and I've got to kind of construct a bridge over that. Sometimes when you tackle those small little things and you're constructing a little bit of a bridge, you're taking a little bit of your happiness. It's kind of interesting to think about. Because now your emotions are devoted to crossing that bridge and creating a bridge that will forever be there. So if it's like dropping a cup of coffee, my reaction's always like, So I've taught myself in my life that's the reaction. Insult myself. I do that. Bridge needs to be built. So when I drop a cup, my happy vibe has to get put on pause. Take a breath. Yes, I feel stupid, but you know what? It's just a silly mistake. Get over it. Build that bridge. And force yourself that mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. It's just a cup. Mistakes happen. All right. Believe it. Create a memory trigger. Rub the back of your head. Give yourself that trigger. So if a mistake happens, you just do that. And you get that, I'm on the bridge. Carry on. Next scenario, somebody bothers you. Let's talk about the big personality type. People who are just set out to make your day bad. There comes like this little part of that bridge that has to be, battleground. Battleground in a small sense. You kind of gotta get like ninja on that one. Even if it's someone close to you, even if it's someone that you love, I think it's like you're gonna have to buck up, walk away, ignore, do not speak to them, get out of the house, do whatever you have to do. Hell, kick them out of the house if it's your house. Phone the police if you have to. Deal with that matter. Say, right, this is a fixed bridge. I cannot deal with people like that because I got to keep that 100% there. So don't run from the problem. Face it. All these little negatives have to be faced. There's no money, that's a little negative that makes you worry. That's just a worry. That's all it is. If there's nothing you can do about it, why are you worrying about it? And if you can do something about it, why are you worrying? Start focusing on the solution. So I go from the top of my head, worry, let's go down my face, do that, okay. Shake it off, man. Take that worry, imagine it as an object. Put it on a shelf, put a tag on it. Right, I need a result for that. Happiness, 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 positive decisions come. Yeah? Those things that are the things that bother people a lot. Making silly mistakes, fighting with yourself, dealing with certain kinds of people, you feel like you're stuck. You need to man up. You need to like, right, that's it. Sometimes, you know what, sometimes Superman's not going to come. Sometimes hope is just begging for someone else to fix the problem. That's where you got to convert that to faith, right? Same for the worry. Sometimes there are just certain things that you cannot resolve in the moment. You have to put it aside. You have to put it aside. And you have to carry on with your prosperity. And you got to alter your perspective. Put ideas of these things that you want to overcome in your temporary memory, but with the question of how to resolve that, and also with the command to yourself, find the solution, see the solution. So, happiness first. Reality number one. These are all secondary realities. All of these realities over here are things that happen to you. Reality number one is you. Your physical body is reality number one. Situation number one. Everything that's happening in your body is happening first before the outside world happens to you. Situation number one is what you have to happen to. You got to happen to your situation. 100% right here. 10%, 5%, 20%, 10%. Over there. So,
the power of manifestation can only truly be accomplished when we actually realize and properly understand that it is only ourself that we can manifest. And with enough knowledge and the capacity for truth, understanding will follow. For what is understanding if nothing more or less than faith in disguise? And what is faith if nothing more or less than understanding in disguise? Happen to the situation.